What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get into what's going on in Iraq because a few things obviously happened over the last couple of days. Again, the delay in me doing the Iraqi video is because I keep anticipating something being announced in the news and I keep looking for it, but it is not yet. Not as of yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, all right? So we'll get into the news here because there's a couple of good things and some things we should be aware of. As usual, you guys, everything about buying precious metals, please give a consideration to our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is in the description. If you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. Not bad. Over here, we got Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. No politics, please. Save that for over here, which is the hidden things in front of your eyes, which seems to be growing at a very rapid rate. My guess is as they close down QAnon groups, NESARA, GESARA groups, people are finding their way over to this group here. But nonetheless, over here you can talk about politics, current events, QAnon, NESARA, GESARA, 9/11, false flag events, the whole 9 yards. Just be respectful of one another. And if you want, you can come join me over on Twitter. The links for all these are in the description. Come on over and join. So, man, I wanted to share this with you guys because I've been watching cryptocurrencies go crazy over the last few days. I can't believe how much Bitcoin has gone up. But not just Bitcoin, Ethereum. Ethereum is on a major run. It's now 373. And look at Bitcoin at 11,350. Very, very interesting. Now, a few videos back, I was talking about a 4-year trend. And, for whatever reason, it wasn't going on that run. I'm wondering if this is it as of now. You can see gold and silver are still up. What's interesting is they have not moved since Friday that I'm aware of, which is unusual because they usually do go on the weekend. And they don't seem to be moving. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so here's all the good stuff and stuff that people are already talking about, I know. But again, I was hoping for some very interesting news in Iraq, and I've not heard of it. So the finance minister, we will present the white papers for reform to the cabinet next Tuesday. So again, next Tuesday, let's see if they actually do submit the paperwork, the reform papers. Now, again, I want to keep everybody grounded. I don't want you to get overly excited about good news, overly bummed up about bad news. We know that the reform papers that the Ministry of Finance has said the discussion about the exchange rate will be brought up. But that doesn't mean that anything's going to happen. So let's keep an eye on this. I mean, again, if they're going to be working on the budgets for 2021, 22, and 23, it would seem to me that in there, they have to address the exchange rate. All right? So again, we're being optimistic, but I want us to stay grounded until we see what they announce and they do. Okay? So it says the Ministry of Finance, Alawi, revealed on Saturday the date for submitting the reform papers to the Council of Ministries and its contents. So Alawi, he's saying, we will present the white paper for economic reforms to the Council of Ministers next Tuesday. Here we go, man. Keep your fingers crossed. The papers include a diagnosis of the origin of economic problems and the treatments that will be difficult, but there is no alternative to them. Now, what makes me nervous about this? He said will be difficult. Not that I'm trying to bring up anything negative, but again, I just want to bring this up. Now, there's talk again about the deletion of the zeros. I see them now in several articles. The problem with the deletion, and they've done studies on these, and the problem with the deletion of the zeros is this. It affects the poor people, and the people within the country lose confidence in their currency. The purchasing power is reduced, and that really hurts people, especially on fixed incomes. So, I don't like the way this is worded, But that doesn't mean the deletion of the zeros is going to happen. We know that Iraq has to rebuild its country. It really does. It has nothing going on there. They need to increase their purchasing power to get all the materials necessary to start rebuilding. So again, let's just keep an eye on this. I just didn't like that way that for some reason it stuck out to me. But we will see. We will see what happens. We have a problem in providing salaries for the remaining months of the year without voting on a borrowing law, noting that we will address the increase in the interest rates on bank loans to reduce it, well, which is smart. But again, they borrowed enough money to pay salaries. It's supposed to have been all the way to the end of the year. It didn't make it that far. And so you'll see in other articles, they say, wait a minute, you don't have to borrow. You have other sources of income now. This is great news, by the way. So the Iraqi resistance announces the cessation of its operations against the American forces. Now, if you remember, a lot of people were talking about pulling out of their embassies, closing their embassies. This would have been really bad for Iraq because they keep having these, armed gangs, militia forces, pro-Iranian militia forces, attacking people that are there on mission and the American forces on their bases. So as soon as they threatened to pull out, a lot of people came together. I know there was a lot of talks with Iran, and I just threw this out there. I said, why, if you guys want America out of there, why would you consistently attack them? Because all you're going to do is provoke them into staying there longer. Wouldn't it make sense to you guys that if they really wanted them out there, well, stop messing with them. They're already leaving. Leave them alone. Because if you kill an American soldier, you got the wrong president in there. Trump does not take lightly to stuff like that. And he responds swiftly and accurately. So nonetheless, that's apparently they got the memo this time. So their Iraq resistance is going to stop attacking American soldiers and those there on this mission. All right, so that's what this article is about. So this is good. This is great news because we really do not want America to pull out of the embassy over there. That really would be a huge, major step backwards. Halabasi directs to set a date to host Al-Qadimi and Alawi. So it's just a quick one. All they're going to go over is all the electoral districts, have them planned out. They're just going to be mostly talking about the early and free elections. That's what this article is about here. Finance Committee salaries are secured for the coming months, and what happened this month will not be repeated. In other words, they got the salaries, like I said, for the remainder of the years, and whatever the excuse was for the holdup, they are making a statement that that will not happen again, but we'll see. All right, so that's good. Again, minor, but not good. I mean, minor, but still good. Interior Minister meets with the U.S. Ambassador in Baghdad. Again, talking about what we need to do to bring outside investors over there. But again, they have to feel secure about it. That's what this article is about. Parliamentary law talks about final agreement to divide. It's the electoral law. More of this. This is what I was talking about. They divided the electoral districts into 83 districts. This is great. This all needs to be put into place before the early elections on June the 6th. Today's session will discuss the reason for the financial request to borrow despite the availability of liquidity. So anyways, it just goes on to talk about why do you guys need to borrow money when you have money to pay things off. That's basically what that says. Sorry, you guys are just putting these nutshells. You don't need me to read them all the way out because there's a lot of articles. I want to get to the good ones. Regional President, the Sinjar Agreement will be a reason to restore confidence with Baghdad, and we hope for other steps. So for those of you who didn't know, it looks like Erbil and Baghdad have came up with their agreements. It's going to be, it needs to be ratified, I'm guessing here. But for the most part, all the agreement parts are done. Everybody's expressing their satisfactory into this. This is huge. I told you they couldn't pass the budgets without the agreements being ironed out. All right, the revenues and dues are in there. So finally, it looks like this is done. Of course, you got our girl over there, Miss Plassart from the UN. She's very happy about it. Mike Pompeo in America expressed their happiness about this getting worked out. Now let's get on to the next parts of this, you guys. We were waiting for this to be done. Reform papers are next. I'm not sure what the hell is going on with the 2020 budget. It still has not passed. But keep in mind, they're also working on a 21, 22, and 23 budget. So very interesting so far. But we'll keep an eye on it. So there's a lot going on here. Not just here. There's a lot going on in all the markets. Cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, as well as with the global currency reset. There's a lot of chatter. That's a huge part why I'm exhausted. I've been really trying to keep up on all of it. All right, you guys. So again, the agreement has been worked out. Let's get it implemented. U.S. comment on the Baghdad-Erbil agreement regarding Sinjar. Of course, I just said it. They're very happy about this. This is good. But they have to hurry up and get this taken care of. They need to do what they can because there's going to be outside investors coming in to do what they can to see the displaced, live in these tents out in the middle of nowhere. They need to bring these people back home. So there's that sense of urgency of there's like tens of thousands of people that are displaced out there in the middle of nowhere. So we need to do what we can to get them into their homes. That's what this article covers for the most part. Again, there's just lots of articles about the same thing. The Erbil and Baghdad agreement being signed. How happy everybody is. This is good, of course. United Nations of Washington welcome the Iraqi and Kurdistan agreement. See, I told you there's a lot of articles on them. We're just all happy, especially us who are also invested in the ISX as well as in the IQD, obviously. So this is Academy publishing what the agreement is. Again, more people commenting on this. So U.S. hits all of Iran's financial sector with sanctions. So they started off with a few banks, but now they hit all financial sectors. They're really putting in a squeeze. There's not a lot of time. I really do think, don't be surprised if this next week we don't see a possible another peace agreement with a couple of other countries out there. I think the purpose of this squeeze is to try to get Iran aboard with this peace agreement. We will see. Again, more articles about the agreement. So this is good news. This is what we want. The Kurdistan region is open to developing and increasing investment in America, with America. So everything seems to be set up. It just needs to be put in motion. So the agreement has been signed. The reform papers will be submitted on Tuesday. The budgets couldn't be completed without this agreement. The agreement is done. The reform papers will be submitted. Shortly after that, we should see what's going on with the budgets, and we should have a lot more clear picture about our investments. Okay, so a lot of good news in here, you guys. Again, there's other stuff that I'm actually watching for. I just keep hoping it comes out here. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. So I'm very happy about the news. Sorry for the delay. I kept waiting and waiting for the additional news, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So yeah, again, so we might hear more about our Iraqi Dinar here pretty soon. So again, you guys, if you're thinking about buying more Iraqi Dinar or Vietnam Dong or the Zim dollars or the Rupiah dollar, give a consideration to our friends at UK Dinar FX. The link is in the description. So they ship out anywhere because I've had people go, well, I can't get it where I'm at. Well, here's your opportunity. You could buy from UK Dinar FX. The link is in the description. And they even said if your subscribers come over and you buy from us, tell them to use discount code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and we will save them some money. So not a bad deal. Most of the sites that I used to get from them are out. Very happy about what's going on with cryptocurrencies. Precious metals moving up. Everything is looking good. Let's keep the positive vibes going. That's it for now, you guys. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. Looking good.